Welcome to Sports and Touring, and you join me on a beautiful sunny day. Now, while it's sunny, it's the UK. It's a little bit chilly, and one of the reasons why I'm wearing this scarf is this.
This is the Caterham 7 170S, and this is the car we'll be taking on this long road trip. And in fact, we've already done the first half of this road trip yesterday when we took this man here, Bob Laishley, CEO of Caterham, to pick up a former company car from his previous employer. And if you want some more background on him, make sure you check out that video. I'll leave a link in the description. Today, we're completing our 450-mile road trip with the return journey of 225 miles, with him in the car we went to collect and me in the Caterham with no roof, and all I can do is hope for the best with the English weather. Now, you might think I'm crazy, but I actually think this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's jump in the car and hit the road. The 170S has the smaller Series 3 chassis and weighs only 456 kilograms, which means that its 660cc turbocharged 84 horsepower engine is actually more than enough to have plenty of fun in, and in fact makes it the ideal entry-level Caterham, considering the fact that it has absolutely no driver aids, no ABS, no traction control. The first thing you notice when you're driving this car is the sensitivity of the steering. It is so precise. You literally think your way around the corners. If you think left, it turns left. It's almost as though your hands don't even have to move. It is absolutely epic. This car is so much fun on roads like this. However, for most of this journey, we're actually going to be doing 70 miles an hour on the motorways. And with its relatively stiff suspension, very snug seats, and very little protection from the elements, it's not exactly your GT Tourer. But can you use it as one? Well, stick with me and let's find out.
Right, well, we're on the roads, and all I can say is I'm loving this car. I had a little bit of a blast down some country lanes, and it's brilliant. 5-speed gearbox. The throw is tiny, it's so short. Woohoo! And you must be thinking, oi, you nutter, why are you driving for 200 and odd miles? 3+ hours with the roof off in the freezing cold. The sun's out, it's not snowing or raining, the roof's off. It's the law. I drove this for a good few hours last night on the way up here. We didn't film that because it was all in the dark. So when you get in it, at first it takes a little while to acclimatise to how sensitive the steering is, but that more than pays for itself when you're on a winding country lane and you want to feel every little thing through the steering wheel and know exactly what the car's doing. The car is literally, I'd say it's talking to you, but it's singing to you through the steering wheel. This is not the car I would choose for a long road trip of a few hundred miles, but having actually experienced it whilst travelling north yesterday, it was fine. Like, getting in and out is a bit of a pain, but it's a Caterham. These seats are actually surprisingly comfortable. I mean, these bucket seats when you're just literally sitting on the car with a kind of cushion and you're literally squeezed in between the transmission tunnel and the door frame. Now, there isn't much in the way of creature comforts. There is a heater, which actually does a half decent job, if I'm honest, because last night was pretty cold and kept us warm enough. There was 2 of us in this yesterday, and you can see that my elbow's over here, so it'd be pretty snug. I was pretty much like this the whole time while I was driving, which is kind of cool. It makes you feel like you're a Formula 1 driver. And so far, every mile I've had in this car, I've had a slightly stupid smile on my face. So now I suppose the question is, can I hang on for the whole 200 miles? Will I still have a smile on my face? Honestly, I think I'm crazy about this car. I think I've actually fallen in love. I spent the better part of last night either in the passenger seat or in the driver's seat on the drive up north. And he said, do you want to put the roof back on? And I was like, no, I don't, because I want to feel this. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's just a completely different experience. So honestly, if you've never experienced this yourself, I highly encourage that you try a Caterham. And it so happens you can actually rent one from Caterham. I'll leave a link in the description for how you can do that. Anyway, let's just see how we get on with the remainder of this 3-hour journey.
Now, I don't know if I'm a different kind of motorist that just likes these raw, open air conditions, but honestly, I was loving every minute of this. Every time I drove past someone in their boring cars who looked like they were just very comfortable and very relaxed and, frankly, bored, I just kept thinking, you're having the most boring drive of your life and I'm having a great time. That smile was soon wiped from my face because on this trip, a dark cloud was on the horizon and I was getting closer and closer to it. And on this particular stretch of motorway, I had no idea when the next opportunity might be to pull off and get the roof on. So if it was going to rain, I was sure that I was going to get soaked.
It started to rain and I have no idea when the next possible stop is going to be. Interestingly, I am not feeling any water at all.
Now, I didn't expect this. The aerodynamics of that windscreen result in a cushion being created over the top of the car. That means that the rain gets caught in that cushion of air and gets carried over the driver.
Now, I'm pulling off because I want to find somewhere to put the roof up because it's going to get silly at some point. But honestly, I can't feel the water still. Just trying to find somewhere to pull over. Right, 30 miles an hour. That's probably going to be a pulley over-y sort of... Oh, hang on, there's a pub. Roof time. I was just saying, the cool thing is, I wasn't feeling the rain at all.
No, you weren't. It's fine.
So we got Bob sorting out the roof. He's a pro. I was going to get out, but he's insisted I stay in the car. Now, Bob's been with Caterham for about a year now. Yeah, a year. It's taken him that long to learn how to put the roof on. And I'm actually glad that I've got him with me because I don't know if I'd have been able to do this quite as quickly as he has. So while we're sitting here having the roof put up, I want to say a few things about this car. You know, you'd think it would just be a nightmare to drive on a long journey, and it's not. Honestly, I just feel so cocooned in here. I feel like my whole body is being supported in a way that you wouldn't get in a comfortable car. So now we have the roof up experience. Oh, there we go. And you got to do the weather seal. Oh, and that side as well. And we're good to go. Guess what? It's probably going to stop raining now, no my luck. Now, another thing you have to get used to with this car is the fact that the nose of the car is quite a way in front of you. And you are literally sitting over the back axle. Well, almost over the back axle. Do you know, it didn't take very long for me to get used to it, if I'm honest. So if you are a Caterham virgin like me, then not to worry. Heeling and towing is extremely easy with the controls being so close to each other, and the car is just talking to you. I can feel it rotating as we went round that bend under power, and it's just got this lovely sound. And now with the roof up, no more buffeting. But actually it's keeping the heat in quite nicely. The heater was struggling a bit before. I could feel it, but it wasn't great. I've got the heater on medium at the moment. And even though it's pretty cold outside, I'm nice and warm. I was really hoping to keep the roof down the whole way, you know. I really was. I feel like I've chickened out. I just didn't want to ruin this beautiful Caterham press car. The weather seal's holding up. I mean, the rain is absolutely battering it. Haven't noticed any droplets yet, and you know, even at motorway speeds, with it throwing the rain down, the car feels stable, it feels safe. A lot of people told me, watch out, the Caterham's going to try and kill you, but it hasn't felt like it so far. Now, if you can see this toggle switch here, I'm not sure if you can, that's actually my indicator. I flip it to the left to indicate left, flip it to the right to indicate right, and after either one of those you need to flick it back to the middle because it doesn't auto cancel, which I've forgotten to do a few times so far. Sorry people behind me. And do I still have a smile on my face? Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And the car's just so twitchy, you have to actually drive the car. It's not driving itself on the motorway. Honestly, I like that involvement. I bet he's really bored right now. I bet they're bored. The kids will be like, oh, I'm bored. Guarantee you, if you had a kid sitting there, he wouldn't be saying he's bored. He'd be having the time of their lives. This would be the most excitement they've had since Avengers Infinity War. We're going to do about another 70 miles before we hit a rest stop and grab a bite to eat. Wow, that is beautiful. Just going to put the window down so I can, I can't put the window down. Now these doors do come off, but of course you have to stop to do that. And we're not stopping, not for another 15 minutes. And I guess by the time we get going, it's going to be dark.
Right, we've just finished having a bite to eat. Now I have to get back into the Caterham, and I realise I haven't shown you how you get into the Caterham, and it's a lot easier with the roof off. Now I'm going to embarrass myself. And this is the security system, removable steering wheel. There you go. I think I mastered it, Bob. What do you reckon?
I think you did a really good job then.
Yeah.
Well done.
Taught by the best.
Now you're in. You're comfortable.
I'm very, very comfortable.
Good.
So there's a couple of things that I didn't show you before. I probably should have done. Yeah, the key to the ignition is kind of under the dash there, so you can see it from there, but from here you just can't see it. So you kind of have to know where it is. There's a power supply there. I've got my phone. It's going to be on the phone charger there. That's the Insta360 camera. That's what's been providing all the camera angles so far. So that's one camera giving me all the front and interior camera angles. We're on the last leg of the journey now, and time to get on with it.
You know, I've driven this car in the rain, in the freezing cold. Last night it was even snowing a little bit. Not one time did I feel nervous or uncomfortable. I felt connected with the car, connected with the road. You're driving along, you genuinely feel like you are a part of the car, and the car is a part of you. I only wish I had a little more time to enjoy this car, but it just wasn't enough.
The remaining miles of this final leg gave me time to reflect on the journey over the last couple of days and on my experience with the 170S, still with a big smile on my face. Now, Caterhams are usually considered a track toy, although for me, the 170S is more of the weekend country lane plaything, and it's especially suited to being your first Caterham. And don't let that 84 horsepower engine fool you. It's the BHP per tonne figure you should be looking at, and that's what the 170 in 170S means. 170 horsepower per tonne. That puts this super light vehicle in the performance bracket of cars like a 2012 Golf R and an 09 Audi TT 3.2 V6 S-Line, neither of which can be described as a slouch. Only the Caterham is, of course, infinitely more playful. And sure, people will lust after the fastest Caterhams, but you really don't need all that power to have fun. And that for me is the charm of the 170S. It's a perfect entry-level Caterham. It has got just enough power for you to have loads of fun, and don't get me wrong, with the lack of driver aids, you still can get yourself into trouble, but it's far less likely and gives you an opportunity to build up plenty of experience. But the other thing I've learned is rather than taking a long journey and turning it into a chore, even this most basic and slowest of the Caterhams can elevate a boring journey into an adventure.
Right, well, that is the end of my drive. And if you've enjoyed watching this, I think you'll enjoy this video too. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It's been an amazing experience. Thank you, Bob.
My pleasure.
Give us a thumbs up if you want more, and I'll see you next time on Sports and Touring. To take it on the road, we're going to go...
North.